Global youth leaders, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. My name is Lia Vieira and I'm a young professional from Portugal and your moderator for today's webinar. We are happy to welcome you to the webinar hosted by the Young Professionals team of Women's Federation for World Peace International. In this webinar, Women's Federation for World Peace International would like to focus on the role of youth in the family and society in enhancing and contributing to the culture of the community and society. Now, I would like to take the opportunity to introduce our first panelist, Mrs. Adriana Munoz Blanco. Mrs. Blanco is a journalist, presenter, and specialist in strategic communication with 12 years of experience in political and institutional journalism at the national level. She is a dreamer, inspiration, entrepreneur, and representative of the beauty of Santander woman. She created the social movement Reina El Corazón to spread solidarity among people through her social networks and thus provide support to different foundations in the country because, as she says, we all have something to donate from time onwards. Now she is a professional model and dedicates herself every day to working in this new profession, with the message that dreams come true regardless of age. Mrs. Adriana Blanco, you have the words.
Reina del Corazón nació de la pasión y motivación de Adriana Muñoz por ayudar, y luego de ser la ganadora del certamen Reinas y Reyes del Universo en el 2022 como Señora Colombia. Una mujer determinada que marca la diferencia y que motiva a las personas a través de sus plataformas digitales a donar su tiempo, experiencia profesional, su arte, recursos y ganas por ayudar a las diferentes fundaciones del país que este movimiento apoya. Somos un puente entre las personas que necesitan ayuda y aquellas que desean contribuir pero no saben cómo hacerlo. Adriana, como comunicadora social y periodista, ha utilizado el poder de las redes sociales para conectar a su comunidad digital con las campañas de 10 fundaciones en Colombia que brindan apoyo a madres cabeza de hogar, niños con cáncer, niños y jóvenes en estado de vulnerabilidad y adultos mayores. Uno de los grandes logros ha sido conectar con la reconocida revista Semana, que a través de su sección Historias Solidarias, dirigida por Natalia Henao, hicieron donación de gafas formuladas a más de 50 niños. Se otorgó una beca de bilingüismo y otra de auxiliar de vuelo a una de las fundaciones de Bogotá. Asimismo, se destaca la restauración de la Fundación Colombia Chiquita y su apoyo constante, además del servicio social a la Fundación Mamita Santa María en la Brigada por La Guajira y el Chocó. Promovió la participación de diferentes reinas de este mismo certamen en el Fashion Week Santander para apoyar a los niños con cáncer de la Fundación Héroes y Valientes de Bucaramanga y la Fundación Camaleón de Barranquilla. Reina del Corazón ha logrado movilizar a más de 1000 personas a través de las redes sociales, vinculando voluntarios con pasión por ayudar, también a empresas y organizaciones generosas que han tendido su mano y han creído en el poder de la comunicación. Reina del Corazón trabaja incansablemente para tejer hilos de esperanza y construir el tejido social del país. Cada sonrisa es una motivación para continuar en esta labor, ya que la visión de este movimiento es presentarlo ante las Naciones Unidas y elevarlo a nivel internacional para buscar mejores oportunidades para las personas que lo necesiten en Colombia. Gracias por creer en nosotros y por ser parte de este movimiento que mueve el corazón. Sigamos escribiendo juntos esta hermosa historia de impacto y transformación para nuestra amada Colombia.
You can hear me? Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for this special invitation. It's really important for my career, for me as a person and young professional. And this little speech is just to motivate the young people to keep working hard for our dreams. So let me start. My journey as an entrepreneur has deep roots, stemming from the influence of my grandmother and my mom. From a young age, I have been working so hard to help and support my family, embodying a sense of teamwork. Through my family, I earned the importance of work ethic, responsibility, and the value of helping others success. Education holds immense significance for me, as it is the cornerstone for personal growth and the foundation for empowering others with professional skills. Formal education opened doors and create numerous opportunities for my career too. As a journalist, I discovered the profound impact of communication. This understanding has now extended to my social media. I have become proficient in various social media platforms, utilize them for fun, business, my personal podcast, and to promote my non-profit organization, as you already saw it in that video, helping people. The people in our environment, they need us, and we have always something to donate. In this journey, my husband has been my rock, supporting and motivating me to achieve the title of Mrs. Universe, Mrs. Colombia first, and in 2022, actually, currently I'm Mrs. Universe. His guidance of fit, he helped me in this purpose, pushing me on the fitness purpose and diet to get that titles, along with the unwavering encouragement, helped me strive for excellence. Winning the title of Mrs. Colombia and Mrs. Universe provide me with a powerful platform to assist others. This includes in supporting schools with supplies and visiting nursing homes during the holidays. My non-profit organization, Reina el Corazón, leverages the power of social media, allowing me to discover a new purpose in my life. I also discovered passion and talent for modeling, embarking on this journey to make my dreams a reality. My advice to others is to never give up and to find joy in every opportunity life presents. You have to work hard for your dreams, because if you work hard with action, with passion, with being patient too, and passionate, you can make that dreams come true. I also discovered as a passion and talent modeling, because I think it's a personal purpose. Okay, you can help, you can look for other persons, but you first, your heart first. Take care of that and take care of your talents and use that to be a voice for others also. Dreams not always come to come true, but with hard work, faith in God, and commitment to help others, we can pave the way for success. The young generation in particular has the power to transform life and build a more peaceful world. Looking back on my journey, these early lessons shaped me into someone who understands the true power of collective effort and individual drive. This journey has taught me the perseverance, faith, and deep commitment to our communities can spark remarkable transformation. My mission is to inspire the next generation to seize their potential and contribute to a kinder, more compassionate world. as I continue to chase my dreams and help others realize theirs. I am driven by the belief that together we can build a legacy of empowerment and hope that will resonate throughout generations to come. Thank you very much. This is just a little speech for motivate the young professionals to keep working in our dreams.
Thank you for your words. It is really important to use our talents to inspire other people to follow our dreams. And it is so nice to see the supports that your family have in your career and in your progress to help and to be role model for all young people. Thank you so much. Now, um, we are going to introduce our next speaker, that is Dr. Cherry Ajay Mai. Dr. Mai is a medical officer at the Upper East Regional Hospital in Bolgatanga, Ghana. He is married and has one daughter. He aims to impact society by providing food, clothing, and education to orphanages and disadvantaged children. Dr. Mai is a beneficiary of the Women's Federation for World Peace sponsorship. I now invite Dr. Cherry Mai to speak.
Thank you very much. Good morning. My name is Jerry. I'm a young professional from Ghana, and I bring you greetings from Ghana. All right, so today we'll be talking about the role of youth in the family and also the society. So I'll go ahead and share my screen, and we'll take it from there. All right. So this presentation will take this form. A bit about introduction. We'll talk about the role of the youth in the family and also in the society. And I'll share my story with you, how I'm also imparting my society. Okay. So a youth is defined as any person between the age of 15 years and 30 years, regardless of the gender. Now, the youth form the backbone of every society, and they determine the future of any given society. And the reason is that in all other age groups, that is the children, the teenagers, middle-aged groups, and the senior citizens tend to rely on the youth. And because of this, a lot is expected from them. This makes the youth to be so important in our society and the future society. Okay. Now there is a high dependence on the youth in every society. So as I mentioned, more is expected from them. All right. So the role of the youth is simply to renew, refresh, and maintain. And the youth have a role to renew and refresh the current status of the society, including taking up leadership positions, being innovative, developing skills to be able to develop their societies. Okay. Now, the youth are expected to advance the current technology, the educational systems, the political systems, as well as helping to maintain peace in their countries. You agree with me that technology has advanced so much and keeps advancing, and the youth tends to play an important role in this advancement. Okay. All right. So every ideal youth has a role to play in the family. Okay, and this includes, but it's not limited to this. Okay, there are more, but because of time, I will not. I'll just share some few roles they play in the family. And a very important role is helping in the family. So what parents do is that they invest their time, their energy, their resources in raising their children. Okay, and they do this because they know a time will come where they will not be strong, where they will be fragile, they may not have the resources, they will be sick and eventually die. And when that happens, someone needs to take up responsibility. Someone needs to fill the gap they left. So the youth is expected to help in the family with these regards. Okay. Another thing they do is taking care of their parents, because parents tend to invest a lot of money, and a lot of parents starve themselves. They prefer not to live luxuriously in order to take care of their children. But unfortunately, some parents are in a state of weeping and gnashing of teeth because they take care of their children, they send them to school, and these children are able to get very good jobs, and they come back and they act as if they don't know them. I'm a medical practitioner, and in the hospital where I work, I see a lot of old ladies, old men. They come on admission, and when you ask the children to buy medications, they tell you they don't have money. You see, they don't have money, and some of them, they have money or they can get money, but they don't want to do it. You see, and when this patient dies, the amazing thing is that they find money to organize very, very luxurious or very like big funerals. It's so sad. It's so sad. As a youth, we are not. We are supposed to be there for our parents. We are supposed to be there for our families because they take care of us in order for us to also take care of them. Okay. All right. Now, raising children is like planting a fruit-yielding tree with the hope of eating from it. So it is a shame for any young man or woman who is stable and in a position to take care of the parent but refuses. It's a shame. It's a shame. All right. In our societies, youth play a role in reproduction. Reproduction here doesn't mean giving birth and increasing the population. It means that fulfilling the position left by the elders. So an example is a son taking up the position left by his father in the company. Okay. And another thing they do is protection. Protection. They are expected to protect their culture. Every society has its culture. Every society have their way of life, their way of doing things. And it's the youth who are expected to protect their core cultures, especially the good ones, because there are societies that have very bad cultures, very, very inhumane cultures. But however, the youth is expected to protect the good cultures, okay? The rich cultural systems in the society. Okay, for they're also expected to welcome or embrace changes in the society, because with the advancement of technology, there a lot of there is always new things happening in the society. So they are supposed to embrace changes when they come. They also play a very important role in protecting lives. So you have so many youth or young men, young women enrolling in the military, in the police, and they tend to safeguard the freedom of people. Okay, and one other thing they do is to ensure growth. You see, the growth of a country is largely dependent on the youth, because the youth have fresh energy, and because of that, they can perform better and ensure that the society grows, okay, or the nation grows. So real quick, I'll share my story, and that'll be all for today. All right. So as I was introduced, I'm a beneficiary of Women's Federation for World Peace International. I would say I am who I am today because of the support they provided me. If they hadn't, located me, I don't know where I would have been. Seriously, I don't know where I would have been. So what I plan to do is to also give back to society. So in the year 2020, I decided to celebrate my birthday with children in orphanages, because I thought that would be more impactful than me organizing a party and celebrating with friends. You see, so I reached out to some friends and family members and told them about this initiative. And by then I was in my final year, and you know how it is. You are from a poor family. You don't really you call home, and they send you money, okay, but it's not even enough to take care of your own needs. But I said no, I have to do this. I have to do this, okay. So I informed some few friends. Some gave clothes, some gave money, some gave other provisions. Okay, so on 24th November, which is my birthday, I donated foodstuffs, toiletries, and clothes to the Tamale Children's Home, because I was located there. And Tamale is the capital or the regional capital of the northern region of Ghana. Okay, so this is what I did, as you can see from the pictures. Okay, yes. So you see, when you look at these children, you see excitement, because a lot of people don't like donating because they feel like they don't have.
You have
If I
5 minutes. Sorry.
all right, thank you.
5 minutes.
I'll finish before 5 minutes. All right, so they don't like donating because they feel like they don't have money. Okay, but I said no, I have to do this, and the excitement was really, 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 really awesome. All right, so then the following year, which is 2021, I donated to the Teshi Children's Home in Accra, and this time around it was bigger than the previous year. So this is what we did. All right. So when you compare this to the previous year, you realize that this was a little bigger than the previous year. Okay. Then in 2023, on November 2023, 24th November, okay, I donated foodstuff, toiletries, clothes, and this time around I added money, I added cash to the Mama Ladi Children's Home in Bogatanga, where I'm currently located. Okay. It kept getting bigger and better than the previous year. So this is a portion of the Mama Ladi Children's Home. So this is what we did. We did this last year. Okay. So picture taken with some of the orphans. All right. So that's myself, my wife, and my daughter. Okay. Then this year, I'll be donating to the Mama Ladi Children's Home again. So November 24th November, I'll be doing this again. This is my own way of giving back to the society. And now this thing, what I've been doing has inspired several of my friends. Okay, and they also plan to celebrate their birthdays this week. If most of the youth in our societies would do this, it will go a long way to improve our societies. All right. So currently, I'm working on establishing a foundation in my daughter's name, where we provide food, clothes, and other necessities to orphans and less privileged children. And we also send street children to school, just the same way Women's Federation for World Peace International sent me to school. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much for sharing with us. I really like the part where you said that the role of youth is to renew, refresh, and maintain. Uh, I guess if we have this in mind, we can use the good in the past and learn to make a change. And if every generation has this way in their lives, we can evolve. And we are so grateful to have people like you doing this change. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Just to say that we will have a Q&A session after the presentation of all the panelists, so you can send all your questions to the Q&A box. Now we present our next speaker, that is Miss Lindsay Hampton Ampeskova. Miss Ampeskova is a previous eye imaging specialist from the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto, Canada. In 2014, Lindsay completed the Master in Science in Public Health from the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine in London, England, specializing in the prevention of global blindness, both a previous profession at Sick Kids combined with her master's degree have led Lindsay to work in Asia, Africa, South and North America, and the Middle East. She had been based in Kenya and Pakistan for over 2 years and developed a national program for retinopathy and prematurity in Bangladesh. Lindsay oversees 5 Canadian hospitals for infection control while continuing to build international healthcare systems. The stage is yours, Miss Ampeskova.
Thank you so much. You completely said my name correctly, and you never even asked me as well. So thank you very much. And it was so wonderful to hear the previous speakers, and I'm going to speak something very similar. I'm just going to share my screen. Just make sure that you can see it. Okay. So today I'm just going to walk a little bit through my experience and kind of looking back, similar to Adriana. So thank you for sharing. It's so wonderful to hear about other people and the work that you're doing in the world. It's amazing that we can come together. So since my youth, since my youth, I knew I wanted to see the world. But not just see it. I wanted to experience it. My youth provided me the foundation and skills to do this. I was born in Alberta, Canada. So if anyone has ever been there, it's very, very, very cold. And it's very north. Most of my childhood was spent indoors. And sometimes we would make an igloo outside where I could go and keep warm. I moved to Ontario when I was 8 years old and became a regular visitor to Mexico from the age of 9. However, my first trip to Mexico was when I was 5 years old. As a young child, I was exposed to many cultures and differences between Canada and Mexico. Mexico is where my father's sister lived. She had 3 daughters, and every summer I would immerse myself into the Spanish language and gain 3 sisters. This is us. As an only child, you can imagine that this was a big contrast to be immersed with 3 other children. Mexico also exposed me to some of the most beautiful Catholic churches. I was fascinated by them. I always felt called to visit the church. Coming from an atheist background, this was very, very unusual to the rest of my family. And it's also one of the things that I consider to be so important from youth. This is an important power that youth and children and young adults have, is to show their family and elders a way back to God. And some adults have fallen away, and this reminds them. Another aspect is a child's and youth's ability to communicate and connect without language. When I showed up in Mexico, I did not speak the language. I traveled there by myself. My parents were not there. And I immersed myself in this photo, not speaking the language and nobody speaking English. So that's one of the most amazing things about being young. By the time I was 16, I made a decision to be baptized. I also immersed myself fully into photography. This was a way that I could express myself, coming from the different worlds that I was going in between. At that time, I also started a wedding photography business and decided that I would focus fully on photojournalism as a career option. I was so inspired by National Geographic. My father had a huge collection, and I just would always go through those and look at all the remote areas of the world and be fascinated. So I decided to aim as high as I possibly could, and where all the wonderful photographers that I had seen were working whereas at Life magazine and National Geographic. And so I ended up getting an internship there. And it wasn't so easy back then. You had to mail a letter. So you couldn't email or do anything else to get in touch. That's the other aspect that really reminds me of youth, is their tremendous gift to think and dream big. Something that sometimes as adults we fall away from. And they have no boundaries. They're so innocent and they influence others through their innocence and altruism. And the real gift is keeping this for your entire life. My time as a photojournalist was short-lived, mainly because finding meaningful work that paid was very difficult. I didn't want to work for mass media. I really wanted to go around the world and photograph people in their real world and their lives and help people. It didn't take long to find employment after I decided to change my career. I had had a dream, actually, to change my career and work in medicine. As soon as I changed my path, a whole bunch of doors opened. Luckily, photography was easily translated into ophthalmology. A lot of the equipment that they use is all based on the same principles in physics. So this was an easy transition for me. Another point that I really wanted to do was I wanted to do mission work for a very long time. And this transition helped me do that. The first mission trip that I took was in Peru, where I met this young boy. He was pivotal in changing my path and wanting to do more for the world. After I met him, I went on to Philippines, Egypt, Kenya, and India before deciding to start my own foundation. Just before starting my own foundation, and just around that same time, I had met the Women's Federation for World Peace and the Family Federation. And this was a pivotal point for me. I don't find it a random encounter. I one day, because of friends, was invited to a talk by Reverend Stoyan Tadden in Toronto. This encounter transformed my path in my life, bringing me to deeper spiritual journey and understanding. One that was very timely in my life and foundation for my family, mental health, well-being, and strength. My passion continued to grow as I contemplated between going into medicine or going into public health. I remember that while I was getting ready to register my charity, that it took me many, 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 many months to try to come up with a name for the charity. I remember I was going around work in the hospital, just coming up with different names constantly until finally I came up with So Kids Can See, and it just stuck and it rung a bell to me. From this work, I received a volunteer service award for starting the charity and being able to go abroad and help different people. After working with children with eye cancer for over a decade at the hospital for sick children, I really, really wanted to take things a lot further. Watching their tremendous ability to deal with sickness and even death through play and laughter while consoling their parents reminded me of God's divine love that is portrayed through children, and I believe the sixth role of youth. Completing my master's in epidemiology in London, focused on blinding eye diseases, really was the catalyst that launched me into the global realm and officially made me a global citizen. After I received my first grant, I moved to Kenya to develop the project. I wanted to be closer and understand more. The grant was based in sub-Saharan Africa, so Kenya was a good spot to stay. It was a struggle to continue to get funding, and I was just making enough money to cover my living costs. One of my best friends that I made while in London was from Pakistan. She invited me to visit once my project in Kenya was complete. The worlds were so vastly different. I had been used to being on my own in Kenya. However, I lived with different families while in Pakistan. I was actually offered a job within 3 days after arriving in Karachi at the same place that my friend was working. It's a non-governmental organization that was working through Asia and Africa. There, I was introduced to more members of the team and was invited to Bangladesh. And I met with different organizations and the government to discuss their needs in eye care. After one failed attempt, we were successful at gaining our grant through USAID. Youth are resilient. They get up and do things again and again until they get it. As adults, we fall away from this, an aspect that is definitely required for all aspects of our life. We need to remember to get up again and again. When the pandemic hit, my work abroad continued, but my travel was put on hold. And the grant was almost completed with a need to start again and a new career path that was local to Canada. I focused on COVID and infectious diseases. That led me to start a company to help daycares reopen and help movie productions get back to work. This led me to my current role, overseeing 5 hospitals and a team now of 17
5
people.
minutes left.
Thank you. As a youth and now as an adult, the valuable lessons I learned and continue to witness in a new generation, I now focus on what we can do as adults to set the foundation for the next generation to build on. Youth are the next generation. They are our opportunity to bring peace on earth. This is just from the award I had received. And then this is a child with a congenital cataract in a Maasai village in Kenya. I'm reminded by Mother Moon, we need to live a life of love. True love is a love by which we continuously live for others, investing in others, and forgetting that we have done so. This is retinopathy of prematurity for the program in Bangladesh. Here, retinopathy of prematurity is something that occurs when a baby is born prematurely and there is too much oxygen supply to that premature infant that is put in an incubator. So our job there is to train neonatologists on regulating oxygen supply and making sure that they have the equipment that can regulate that oxygen, and then also have the ophthalmologist screen these infants regularly. Just as a recap, the role of youth in family and society is bringing adults back to God, communicating and connecting without language, boundless dreams and thinking big, influencing with altruism. Oops, sorry, my alarm. Helping us remain adaptable, sharing God's divine love, their resilience, taking over from where adults leave off, and providing an opportunity for peace on earth. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for your beautiful words. We could see that you had a lot of cultural experience by bringing your work to so many countries, and you had the will of changing and follow the path that you knew would be more meaningful for you, and that is very commendable. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now we will go for our last speaker, and that is Miss Kyung Min. Miss Hum is a full-time full-stack software engineer at Goldman Sachs, and she graduated from a university in Korea and the University of Bridgeport with a degree in computer science in the US. She worked as an Android developer, software engineer from 2018 to 2020. She is also a development leader for KEA and a vocal group. Miss you have a word.
Hi everyone. Yeah, this is Kyungmin, and then let me share my screen. Okay. Thank you all for joining today. And then today I will be focusing more on the professional part. Yeah, so today I'm going to be talking about the project management with agile methodology. And I hope that this presentation is like helpful for the people who's like planning for a project, like having group project, like planning to have a products and then everything like that. Yeah. So I was gonna introduce myself, but thank you for introducing me. Yeah, so this is me and my husband. Yeah, so today we'll be talking about the agile methodology first. It's okay, like if you don't know, like what does that mean? Yeah, I'll be talking about that. And then next we'll go through the user story mapping. And then what is user story? User story is like features that is like written from the perspective of the end user or the customer. And then user story mapping is the fun like visual exercise to create the user stories. And then the next thing we will talk about is the sprint. And then we'll end the presentation. Okay, so first, what is agile methodology? So agile means flexible. And then instead of having like a one big plan for a project, Agile divides the big project into like the smaller like sprints, which is like the smaller cycles, like several iterations, which can take up to like 1 to 3 weeks. So that like you can like plan and then like work on the features and then review and then get the users feedback for each cycle so that like it promotes like the continuous learning and the improvements as we have like review cycles. And also like you'll be like getting your users feedback like after like each sprints. It will like help us to like prioritize based on the user's needs and yeah, those. So if you have just like one big plan, then like it will be like hard to like see that hard to see if like what we're doing is like really feeling the user's needs. However, like as we are like keep on like refocusing on the user's needs, it will be like helpful for us to focus on the user's needs to complete the project. Yeah, so user story mapping. So traditionally, we used to only have like a one-dimensional backlog. So what is a backlog? It's like a buildable work that needs to be completed. Like, so like written like tasks and then like subtasks and stuff. This can be written like this, but like sometimes like it's like difficult to prioritize. Like, I don't know like where to start, what is important, like those kind of things. So here comes the two-dimensional backlog. So with this like user journey map, we can see the tasks based on the priorities as well as the user journey that needs to be done like in this order, and then this is the priority. So this will give like clear context, and then like it will be like easier to prioritize. So when we are starting to make the user story mapping, we first start up by like brainstorming the ideas. Oh my God, like this is very overwhelming. So today, like we'll have a short like exercise, like trying to create a morning routine. And then this is like just like putting all the tasks like that needs to be done. And then like if it's ordered like this, then it'll be like very like difficult to keep on track and then like what to do now, like very overwhelming. So first of all, I can like group them based on like their like big topics, like wake up, in the bedroom, morning activities, and then living. And then give them like a smaller categories, or which is called like epics. And epic is a body of work that can be broken down into specific tasks, or each of them are the user stories. And then the epics can be the topics for each of them. Now we have all the tasks that needs to be done, or the user stories ready. And then we have the epics ready. However, I'm still unsure about the priorities. Let's say that we only have 15 minutes to prepare and then go to work. Then it will be hard to do like all the tasks. So in my case, I would just like wake up, go to the toilet and get dressed and go to work. How about like if you have like 30 minutes more? Yeah. Then I'll have time to like take a shower and then like check emails, check traffic and stuff. How about if we have like one more extra hours, then we'll be able to do a lot more than that. So I can say that like the tests in the first row would be like the test that's like must have user stories. And then tests in the second row could be like the should haves, and the third could be like could haves. So based on this, like I'll be able to see, okay, like based on the time that I have, I'll be only able to this or that. Yeah. And we'll go through the sprint planning. Sprint is like a short time period that like we'll be spending time to like work on like several user stories. So like before starting a sprint, we need to do a backlog refinement meeting. So as I said before, backlog is a list of the tasks that needs to be done, and the backlog refinement section is like you like go through like each of the user stories and then examine like if we still need this or like if we need to add more stories. And then we can also divide like a larger stories into smaller ones. Like take a shower could be divided into like wash body and wash hair. And then we have a like a sprint story estimation meeting. So like there are like several user stories, and then based on like the amount of effort required or time or the complexity of each like stories, we can give them like the story point numbers, just like this. So easy one gets like 1 user story point, like hard ones gets like 5 ones, or like something that like takes some time and effort. Yeah. So for the users, no. So when you are planning for a sprint, you need to consider like 3 things. First one is like the sprint duration. Usually it's from like 1 to 3 weeks. And then there will be like team members. How many team members will be working on for current sprint? And then each of member would be able to take like different number of the story points. So like the team accumulated story point capacity. So let's say that we're talking about the morning routine. So let's say that like I only have 30 minutes to prepare and I only have one body, myself. And then I'll be able to accomplish like 30 story points. Then I'll be able to do like these many user stories. And let's say like I clone myself and like I have like 2 bodies. Then within the half of time, I'll be able to accomplish like the same amount of work. So what to expect during the sprint? So now like sprint planning is done, and then now like we've started our sprint. During the sprint, I expect to have like a daily stand-up meeting. So this literally means that like you stand up and then have the meeting. Like when you're standing up, you don't want the meeting to go for like long. So it's like usually like it's just like every day, like just like 15 minutes meeting, like in the morning, or like at the beginning of work. Like yeah, it could be every day or every weekdays, every work days. Yeah, depends on your team. And then everyone will share like 3 points, like what I've worked on. I worked on like feature like A, and then like this user stories, then like any impediments or issues. And I encounter like this kind of issues, so that like you can get insights from the leaders or your team members in a timely manner. And what I will be working on today. And I've also used like several like project management tools.
You have
First one,
5 minutes left. Thank you.
okay, first one is Jira. Like this is like a project management tools. Like you'll be able to define your stories there, assign some people, and assign like the story points, and then see the progress for each of the stories. It will be very helpful for you, and it's free. And then I use like Confluence for like the data management. If I have like any documents that needs to be stored, then this provides like the instead of like Google Docs, this gave us like a team storage that I'll be able to like manage like all the documents at one place. And then I use like Slack for the communications. This provides like different channel that we can discuss on. And then after each sprint, we have a sprint retrospective meeting to talk about three main things. So something that we can keep, something that we do well, something that we need to stop doing, and then something that we can start doing, like new ideas. So by having the retrospective meeting after each sprint, it helps the team to like continuously improve on improve, and then like also like this encourages like team collaborations, and then this helps on like all the aspects. Yeah. So I will show you an example of Jira. This was the project that I worked on for my senior project. So basically like it works on like most of the projects. Like the Jira and then Agile methodology, it works for most of the project. Okay, so there is this like epic or like the small like topics. And then under each epics, like I can have like many like user stories. I can check the status, like done, in progress, and then like still need to do, and then also check the duration here. And then the backlog that we talked about, or the list of the user stories that needs to be done. So these are defined, and then I'll be able to check like who's working on what, and then under which topic or which epic, and then if it's done or in progress and those kind of things. Yeah. And I have like this page where like I can move around the tasks and then clearly see like what's being done and what needs to be done. And after working on like some sprints, I'll be able to see like the how we like accomplish the stories. Yeah. This is the conference. I can see that like of software, hardware, meeting notes, like all the meeting notes can go in here, and then user guide, all the documents can be stored in here. Yeah, like this. And then this is the Slack that I used. It has like different channels. So if you have like several teams within the project, then you can have their channels. Yeah, thank you for listening. I hope that this will be useful for anyone like who will have a project going on, like planning and like teamwork going on. Yeah, I hope you just remember one word, like agile. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for sharing with us a little bit about your work. And I think even we can take advantage of this planning to organize our lives from now on. And I personally use Slack too for like professional use, and organization and time management are very important to do a better work. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we are moving on to the Q&A session. Thank you, participants, for taking the time to ask your questions. And I would like to pick up a few questions for our panelists. So we will start with Mrs. Adriana Munoz. First question is, this is a great challenge to something new in our life. What motivated you the most to become a model and subsequently Miss Universe?
I couldn't. Can you repeat the question, please? Sorry, I
Yes,
was.
The question was, what motivated you the most to become a model and subsequently Miss Universe?
Okay, thank you. I really never was in my plans. I really never dreamed being a queen and a model, but as I said in my speech, you have to enjoy and enroll in every opportunity you got in your life. And I thought it was a good opportunity to um, try new skills I didn't know I have it. So when I became and get that title and to see that platform for helping others, I really get motivated. So I never forget about myself because yes, I help with that platform and helping others. I start doing something for me. And I really enjoyed that preparation to get the crown and modeling and doing my diet, my fitness things, and everything I did for that. I said I can do more for me. So I became model and enjoyed the way to uh, to start exploring. It's a new opportunity. So I use it right now for my entrepreneur. I got a bikinis entrepreneur, a small company, but I saw an opportunity in there. So I just get every opportunity comes to my life and see what's happening. If I can help others, okay. But if it's something for me, it's also okay. It's good for trying new things and enjoy the life. It's not just doing the same all the time because we know it's another things in the other side. So I just enjoy every opportunity.
Thank you very much. I have one more question for you, and that is, thank you for your presentation. How do you keep fit and look good while being a busy worker and mother?
I didn't understand, sorry.
I can repeat. How do you keep fit and look good while being busy worker and a mother? Like, how do you keep fit and look good while being a busy worker and mother?
Oh my God. I try every day. That is not easy. That is not really easy to keep uh, being like a image person to show others because always the people are looking at you because that now they got more expectations. Yeah, because oh, she's a queen, so she has to be beautiful all the time, she has to be fitness all the time. But when you enjoy something, you just keep working in the things you like it. So I think it's a purpose of my life now because I'm in that role. So of course I have to, like when I'm journalist and I have to be got all the knowledge about the political, about the news, about the war. So when you are in a specific role, you have to keep being like you need it, the skills you need it, and grow up all the time. So now I'm model. I have to be nice and good for image and keep working in my career.
Thank you very much. Now
Thank
we
you.
will pass to Jerry and Mai. We have two questions too. The first one is thank you for the profound thoughts and stories from the fields about the youth in your country. How would you like to encourage the youth in your country, Ghana, to work harder for the good of their country and the world?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. So, like I stated in the presentation, the youth form the backbone of every society. So, in Ghana, looking at our population, majority of the people fall within the youth ages. Okay, so majority of the population are youth, and these are people who are strong and have the energy. Okay. So all I have to say is that wherever you are, you can do something. You can do something to change your society. And it doesn't have to be something so big. You have to start at where you are with whatever you have. You see, there are times that you want to do something, but you may not have the money to do that. But you can call on other people. You have the idea. You can engage other people and solicit their support, and you'll be able to do that. So wherever you are, you can do something to bring a change in your country. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, for the second question, how did you get to know Women's Federation for World Peace as a beneficiary of their sponsorship? Can you tell me more about this?
All right, thank you. Okay, so your first question, I came across Women's Federation when I was in primary six. That was I don't remember the year. It was so long ago. So I was in class, and a teacher came to me and said, there is this NGO looking to sponsor brilliant but needy children. And among the children in the school, I was the second person that was selected. We were actually two people from the whole cluster, where there were about 10 different schools. Okay. Yes, and out of the 10 different schools, my school was selected, and I was the second person that was selected. And it's been a glorious journey. And I'll say that Women's Federation for World Peace International took care of me from primary school to junior high school to senior high school to medical school. And I mean it when I say I am who I am because of Women's Federation for World Peace International. I wouldn't have been a medical doctor if I hadn't met them. Okay. And to your second question, with regards to my foundation. So yes, I've spoken to some people. I'm looking at registering because I have a name now. Okay, I have a name now. So the next thing to do is to register it. Okay, and I know once I register it, the money to do that will come. It will come because I plan to use my salary as a medical doctor to start it. Now, once I'm doing this, I'll also engage some of my colleagues, some friends, family members, and I believe one way or the other we can do something. Okay, so yes, it will happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now we will pass to Lindsay Hampton, and the questions are: thank you for sharing your inspiring stories. Traveling to different countries, do you have any vivid more memories from working abroad?
Thank you. Gosh, I don't know if they're vivid memories or they're just they feel like every day still. You kind of transform yourself, and I mean, I'm still in touch with everybody abroad. So you still, I think on a daily basis, maybe sometimes you forget you're in Canada. Because you're having communication with everybody everywhere else. You kind of still feel like you're there. You still feel like you're in all of these places, and yeah, they're still very real to me.
That is very nice that you maintain that contact. For the second question is a great presentation. I was so inspired. What was the most challenging part of your job?
I think one, the main one is, how do you do really great work and still be able to survive, like pay bills, get food, just your basic necessities. I think a lot of the time I spent just focused on my work, and maybe neglecting some of the things that I required. So there definitely is a balance. I did have to make a transition to focus more on myself, and actually by focusing more on myself, I was able to do more for others. So this conception that we feel that we just give, it needs to come to yourself first. You need to be with God. You need to go inward, be with yourself, give to yourself, and then overflow and then give to everybody else. I kind of did it in reverse. So that was my lesson in life. And I'd say that's probably the hardest lesson to learn. So yeah, I think that just making sure that you have that really strong foundation in order to be able to do more for everybody else.
Yes, thank you so much. Now we will pass to Kyung Min. And the question is, this is very helpful, especially the tools. Thank you very much for sharing. Working in a team is very difficult because everyone has their own thoughts and experience. How can you make your team members unite and work as one?
I say the retrospective meeting is like very helpful, as like as we have the retrospective meeting after each sprint. So let's say if we have any like communication concerns and stuff, we provide an open like safe space to openly like discuss through the team, like, oh, okay, so I think like we need to have like better communication and like what to do. Yeah, those kind of things. So yeah, in that way, the teamwork is growing, I think. Yeah. And then yeah, that's how like our team works. Like we promote that.
Thank you very much. And we have one last question for all the speakers, and that is, what words would you like to say now to the young people who are participating in today's webinar?
I would like to answer last at the end. I wanna the others panelists answer first.
All right, so I'll go first. Okay, so first of all, you have to know that whoever you are, wherever you are, you can do something. There is something you can do. Okay, and the second thing you have to know is that in your attempt to make a change, there are bound to be difficulties. You are going to face challenges, but you have to hold on. You have to hold on to that idea. You see, you want to do something, people will try to stop you. People will try to talk to you, not to, talk you against doing that. You see, so you have to hold on to what you want to do, the idea, the passion. You see, then you have to keep moving. You have to keep moving, and whatever happens, don't give up. If you don't give up, you will surely win. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, maybe Lindsay, can you answer?
Sorry, just repeat the question again one more time, please. I
Yes,
kind of got
the question is,
sidetracked.
yeah. What words would you like to say now to the young people who are participating in today's webinar?
Yeah, I really like what Jerry said. I do think perseverance is going to take you a long way with everything you do in life. You know, just learn how to fall down and get back up again, and enjoy doing it and honor it, and don't think anything of it. Just think, oh yeah, this is part of what you have to do.
Mm-hmm. Now, Hum Kim Min.
Yeah, I'll say that like how you do, like how you work and like how you do things is like also important. So maybe like researching and then learning about that like would like be very helpful as a young professional. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Adriana.
Yes, yeah, I want to say that because I knew we are really connected with the words in this conference. So, yeah, just I want to add to this is just enjoy the process and don't get inspired and be in rushing and competition with others. Just do by yourself, with yourself, and compete with yourself. um, the compare sometimes make feel frustrated, so just enjoy the process and find the way and the best way.
Thank you so much for your answers. It was really inspiring. And due to the time limitation, I would like to close the Q&A session. We apologize if we don't get to your question, but you can always email us after the webinar. Now, thank you so much for joining us today, especially our panelists for presenting and sharing your stories with us. Each story proves that young people have the power and the potential to make a positive difference in their families and their communities. And we look forward to another opportunity to share the stories of young professionals. Now, before we close this session, I would like to invite you to the Women's Federation for World Peace International Young Professionals team. This team is a creative think tank at the international level to practice cultural diplomacy, which is the exchange of ideas, information, art, language, and other cultural aspects in order to deepen mutual understanding. We meet bi-monthly every third Wednesday at 12 p.m. GMT, and the next meeting will be held on June 19. You can find you can find more information on our website and connect us via the email you see on the screen. And we are happy to send all the information and collaborate together with you. Now I would like to officially close our webinar. Thank you very, very much for participating today from all over the world, and have a good day and night. Bye.
Bye-bye. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.
Muito obrigada. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
It was
much.
amazing.
All the best.
Thank you. Congratulations, Leah.
Thank
You are
you.
amazing.
Thank you. And
Thank you.
Okay.
God bless.
Congratulations to our interpreters